My name is Gwendolyn Myers, and I'm from Liberia. And indeed, I love youth work.
Yo, and welcome to another episode of I Love Youth.
Hi, welcome to I Love Youth Work.
Welcome to another episode of I
Welcome
Love
to
Youth
another
Work.
edition of I Love Youth Work. That's the name.
I like youth work, and your mama loves youth work.
Welcome to I Love Youth Work.
Thank you so much. And I think I really like the name of, what the work you do. I love youth work. That is really interesting and so amazing. It's captivating. Like, I love youth work. So thank you. And of course, I love youth work.
You're most welcome. Can you tell us a bit about your background? What's your journey about youth work so far?
What is a very, I would say it started much more earlier. So at the age of 13, so my entire journey started as a searcher. So with the Search for Common Ground, as a 13-year-old little girl back home in Liberia. So I started producing and kind of serving as a lead angle for a Search for Common Ground production called the Golden Kids News. So the Golden Kids News is, it talks about issues affecting and benefiting young people back home in Liberia and highlighting the major role, even kids had to play, especially in their growing up and how they say contributing or connecting to society. So that was how my whole story or my involvement in young people or in youth work started as a 13-year-old little girl with the Search for Common Ground Talking Drum Studio back home in Liberia. And then, I started off Messengers of Peace Liberia, which is a non-profit, non-political, youth-led peace-building organization. And this organization is basically to kind of get young people involved in peace and security issues. And when we talk about their involvement, it's not just the ceremonious type of engagement of involving young people, but where it is meaningful. So these are questions we ask, and it's connecting a lot to the resolution that we've been talking about since today at this event. So we ask very key questions in our work back home in Liberia. When you talk about engaging young people,
And is this the work you talked about? We're going into schools?
Yes. So we go into schools, we go into local communities. We have community dialogue initiatives with the ordinary people, that taught us what exactly it is. But this time around, it's not the way it used to be done. It's not like business as usual, where the old people will be the ones leading initiatives like this. But the young people are the ones actually in communities talking to the elderly, and that intergenerational dialogue is actually taking place. And it's always something that even our mothers and our fathers, we always say that is that kind of engagement we want to see, where the older ones can support even the younger ones to do exactly what they are passionate about and to bring change in the local communities. So
and there was quite a lot of percentage of your volunteers or
that are young women.
Or young women.
Yes.
Yeah, would you like to say a little bit more about
1,000 plus young people, with 80% being young women, and it's basically where young women are seen as the champions. Young women are, so in our organization right now, even at the level of the executive, you'll find out with the whole team of 10 co-volunteers, 7 of them are young women. So imagine that told you the very
What difference does it make? What kind of story could you share about something like that?
They are passionate about it. You should understand that women, our nature, we are caring, we are deeply involved into things that we whenever we put our hands into something, it is that caring nature of it. And the thing about peace is personal. Peace building is personal. You can't do peace building if you do not have that personal touch to it. And so if you see young women involved in peace building, that tells you even from the level of communities, they are actually the ones who will have this kind of very deep feeling inside, this caring nature to say, if our communities are not in peace, if our communities, cannot have a place of rest, if the people cannot be able to come together, then there is a problem somewhere. So that's the role these young women are really playing, and we admire the things they do, we admire the work they do, and they are not just stopping, but they are building a team of other young women, and it's a kind of cycle. We say our whole work is cyclical. It's from one person to the next and another person to the next. So that's the kind of movement we're actually building with the whole engagement of young people into our peace work back home in Liberia, and by extension also to the region, the Mano River Union, or what with the West African regions.
So youth workers are watching this across the world. What message or what recommendation, how can they support, what message would you have for youth workers watching this?
Always follow the passion. The passion, nothing beats passion, obviously. If even you don't have the fabulous bank account, nothing gonna beat your passion. The passion that you have is going to drive you to even make the change that you want to see. There are obstacles, there are challenges, but your passion will always find a way to break barriers and keep doing it. Nobody should tell you you can't do it. Follow that passion and go for it. Mobilize other young people. Collaboration is very key. I didn't do it on my own. To reach up to 1,000+ young people, it means it's collaboration. And that's something that they should take: passion, collaboration, and partnership. Partner also. Make yourself relevant so that your government and even people who you want to trust you. Young people, we also should make ourselves in a way that people can trust us. So it's not just only calling on them to say, trust us. But we need to also be prepared when they trust us so that we deliver.
Thanks for sparing the time to speak to us today.
You're welcome.
And thanks for watching.